In this video, let's explore one of the concept in Dataverse table named as alternate key. Now, alternate key is a user-defined identifier which is unique for records in a Dataverse table. Now, every Dataverse table will have a unique identifiable record. So that's called as a primary key, which is created by the system. It is immutable. You cannot change it once you create it. So once a record gets created, it is automatically generated by the system. So that's a GUID. Now, primary key is useful when you want to identify records in a Dataverse table. But alternate key has a special purpose. It is useful when integrating with external systems, integration, or performing relational lookup. Example like accessing an API, or maybe performing a lookup into a third party system, or maybe performing a lookup within your Dataverse table itself. Now, alternate key is optimized for lookups and relational references. So there's less reliance on the existing GUID or primary key for referencing records. It basically provides a meaningful way to identify records using one or more columns. Now, primary key is just one column, so that's one column uniqueness. But with alternate key, you can select one or more columns. Now, where it will be used. Now, take for example, you are building an application for contract management system, and the contract management system is already present in one of your legacy system, and now you want to take all the information from your legacy system and put it into a Dataverse based application. Now one way is to create a table from scratch in Dataverse, let it generate its own primary key and define the table, and then you do a migration. But remember, when you do a migration, the GUID which is defined at a primary key level for a Dataverse table and the unique identifier or a primary key from your third party system may not match. Either it may not match from a data type perspective, like it might be a number in your legacy system and it is GUID in the Dataverse system, or maybe it might be GUID in your legacy system and GUID in Dataverse system, but then those GUID will not match. So you will not be able to do an insert in your Dataverse table when you are migrating the record from your legacy system to the Dataverse. Now, for that, alternate key plays an important role. You can also create alternate keys programmatically by using entity key metadata, entity types. Alternate keys. Now, primary key is uniquely generated identifier by the system. It maintains all the uniqueness in helping in establishing a relationship between the tables. As I mentioned to you, primary key is immutable and can't be changed. Now, when you create a table, automatically that key is getting gets created and the key name is same as the table name. Now I'm going to demonstrate that in the when I'm going to show you my screen. uh, Now primary name column is user friendly field, basically that acts as a default identifier for record in UI for Dataverse. Now in a table in a Dataverse, under schema you will find something called as keys. If you click on new key, you will be presented with a set of columns within that existing table. You select that column and then you create an alternate key, and then you can use that key to define your third party system. All right, so let's jump into the demo. Now here I have one solution, so I'll show you what I have. So basically I have a model driven app. So let me show you the model driven app. So example, like say, let's assume this model driven app data exists in your legacy system, and now you want to migrate the data from your legacy system to the current system. But the current system is functioning at the moment, and we have already built some artifacts for that legacy system. Say maybe there might be some flow attached to it, there might be some agents attached to it. Now you have already created the system, now you want to bring the data from your legacy system over here. Now you're actually using the system, you people will come over here in the model driven app, they can put in the car details, the supporting file, the ABN details, etc. Let me log in first. All right. So now, as you see over here, this model driven app exists. Now, this is a backend. Now, in the backend, I have this DEC 2025 solution. So if I go into the objects, I already have under table that car sale table. Now, every table which you create, now the table which I've already created over here named as car sale, if you navigate to the columns, or you can see the grid view in the bottom over here. Now I'll just hide all the other fields. And now if you see here, car sale. So the name of the table is car sale and the name of the column is car sale. Now this is a primary key which gets generated for your database every time. You haven't provisioned it, system automatically generates this record. Now this is the unique identifier. Now, take for example, you have a legacy system. So let's assume this is a legacy system, and now you want to bring the data from the legacy system to here. But then in the legacy system, you also have a primary key column. Okay. Now, the primary key column is either it can be GUID or it can be any other data type. But let's assume it's a GUID. But this GUID, once you migrate over here, you cannot do a direct insert, because if you do that, it will automatically generate a unique identifier in car sale table, right? Now, you want this primary key to act as a primary key in this table, but this table's primary key is already created and generated. So what if I want something different? And that's why it is called as an alternate key. Now, alternate key can be created by clicking on keys. So you click on keys over here, and then from here you click on new key. Now, if you see the data over here, let's assume that maybe car model and maybe the ABN is always unique across your system. So let's assume that scenario. So if car model and ABN is unique across all your table, then what you can do, you can click on new key and you can define the alternate key name. So let me call this as maybe my system exists in SAP. So I'll just call this as SAP primary key, or maybe SAP alternate key, or maybe I'll just call it as a SAP key. So SAP key, and the column which I said is unique will be ABN and the car model. So I can go ahead and pick and choose that column. So ABN and car model. Now remember, I can pick other columns as well depending on your business scenario. But in this case, I'm happy with this. ABN and car model uniquely identifies a row in my SAP application, which is a legacy system, which I'm going to import into the Dataverse application. So this is useful when you want to do a migration, right? You click on save, and then the alternate key will get generated. All right. So I have this SAP key. Now, if you see the SAP key, if you go inside the alternate key which you have generated, it will have its own name. So this is an important thing to note. The publisher G Corp underscore SAP key, that's a name which you're going to always refer. And also, if I go into the tables over here, I will see the list of records within that table, right? So if I go into, say, maybe car sale table, I will be able to see all the record within the table. Now, let me go ahead and select the column. So I'll just call this as ABN and maybe car sale, car model, and maybe the column which we just created. The column which we just created is an alternate key, right? Like if I just type in key, or if I just type in SAP, it doesn't appear over here because that is not used for showing in the form itself, right? If you go over here under columns and search for SAP, you will not find that. But if you go over here and go to keys, you will find the key over here. So there's not technically a column, but then it is referencing a column which you have mentioned over here, like the ABN and car model, and then you can use that to uniquely identify a record, right? So now, if you go into your backend system and if you do a migration, there you can easily specify the key which you require over here, SAP key from your legacy system, and then that will uniquely identify a record. And rest all, it is all similar to what we have in Dataverse. So you go ahead, you create a record, you specify maybe a car model, maybe I'll just put some car model over here, and then maybe I'll just put some ABN, and I'll just click on save. Now, once you save that record gets updated in the backend. Now, once you do the migration, this particular column will definitely help you in injecting the primary key value which identifies this unique record. Also, there are some actions in Dataverse which I'm going to cover in a separate video. So that's called as an upsert action. So in upsert action in Dataverse basically helps you in identifying the key. Now here I'm gonna explain what is upsert action in a separate video, but upsert action is a Dataverse action. Basically, it allows you to either update or insert. So what does that mean? Is if you have a record within a table, okay, so take for example, if you have say 10 records in Dataverse over here, okay, so let's assume 10 record in Dataverse, and you want to migrate say 5 record from your legacy system over here. Now two things can happen. One is this record which you are migrating, it may not exist within your system. So if it is not in the system, it will do an insert, so it will add a new record, right? But what if that similar record exists in your system? So in that case, you do something called as an update. And if you combine the operation of update and insert, it is called as an upsert operation. So you basically use an upsert operation to perform that operation within your system. So that's it, folks. This is all about alternate keys in Dataverse. Thanks for watching.